Coach Holt, thanks for being here. I'm real excited. I was able to scoop him up at the last second last night. I texted him and asked if he wanted to do the show. He is here because we've got a big game coming up tonight. I mean, big, big.
Sure do.
Yeah, real excited about it. So we're playing Sand Springs tonight. Kickoff is when?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Yep. It is at Sand Springs this year. Of course, this is kind of like the bedlam for Sapulpa. We've got a Highway 97 rivalry that we've had going on with Sand Springs going on for generations. But this is actually an even bigger deal than that because it's technically a district title
Sure.
game tonight, right?
Yeah, district title game, number one seed in the playoffs, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. So what happens tonight if we win as far as our playoffs and stuff?
We'll be the number one seed. We've got a bye regardless
Uh-huh.
in the first round of the playoffs, which puts us in a home game in the quarterfinals, which is the next week. As far as who we play and all that kind of stuff, we won't know until we'll have a better idea after all the games are played tonight.
After
Because
tonight, yeah.
the district that's opposite of us on the other side of the state, they don't have any clear cut seeds yet. So they have to play out their schedule. So we'll figure all that out tonight and see which games we have the winner of in next week's games for the next week when we play.
So you can't even right now. You can't really even like strategize about how to go in because you don't know who you're playing yet.
Right? Yeah. A lot of years you're able to kind of figure it out. During the week. In the office you can kind of run all the points and the what ifs and all that kind of stuff on who you might or might not play in the playoffs, but. There's a bunch of ties and stuff going into this week in the opposite district of us, so everything's going to have to be played out before we know.
Okay. Now, but you will have a couple of weeks to figure that out because we've got to buy for that first.
Yeah, we'll be off next week, regardless of what happens tonight. We've earned our first round bye with our win over Muskogee last week, so we'll be off next week, and then state quarterfinals will be here in Sapulpa the next week.
Man, that's exciting. Yeah. So, okay, so let's talk about that game last week because that was an amazing win.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was almost. I don't know if I'm getting spoiled now because I'm used to us, just having a good
Right.
first start of this when we hit district play. Bam, 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 win after win after win.
Right.
And then I think last year, did we win against Muskogee last year?
No.
So okay, so I think Muskogee is kind of one of those teams that always kind of has our number.
Yeah, I don't believe Sapulpa's beat them since '97. I believe.
Oh, really?
It's been a long
Oh,
time.
wow! I didn't realize it'd been that long.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
been a long time.
so that makes it even better.
Yeah, it does.
Holy cow!
Just one of those wins that you're looking for all the time to kind of hang your hat on to get momentum going into what we're getting ready to go into tonight and in the following week. So, they're a great program with a great tradition. Something that we're trying to get to. The history that we're trying to get to and provide here at Sapulpa. So. We were pretty confident going into the game. Not a lot of people believe that we could do what we did last Friday, and that's fine with us. We've been kind of the underdog team all year, playing with a chip on our shoulder. We just keep proving people wrong. So it's good motivation for us. We came into the last week's game pretty confident in what we could do and that we could play with teams like that and beat teams like that, and we were able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually kind of ashamed to say that I was one of those folks that wasn't real sure. I mean,
yeah, sure.
Just because of what you said, 1997 was the last time. I mean, that's a long time to go.
Yeah.
And eventually you just kind of get used to it. You're like, well,
Sure.
it's Muskogee.
Yeah, for sure.
But, so the other thing about that, though, was that it wasn't just that you beat Muskogee, but you beat them 49-16.
Right.
I mean, that is a good spread. And I don't know, how much of that do you attribute to just, sheer luck versus just really good football?
Some of it is, but a lot of it's just opportunity, We presented ourselves with an opportunity to be in a game like that, first of all, and then our kids practiced really hard all week. Our game plan was really good by our defensive and offensive staff. And, when you're playing as well as we're playing right now, when another team makes mistakes and you're able to capitalize on those and make them pay for it, it can get out of hand pretty quick when you're playing good football teams. So we're hoping we can continue to do that when people make mistakes against us and cash in on turnovers and not turn the ball over on offense. And that's what we've been doing. So just being able to go out and execute offensively and get stops and create turnovers on defense, we're playing really good complementary football right now, and we're super confident. Our level of support in the community has been unbelievable. I mean, it's just my phone just goes off all the time, just people congratulating us and telling me how much they love seeing our kids play and how hard we play and all that kind of stuff. And it's really cool to hear as a coach because our staff, we preach that all the time about playing hard and being physical and being confident. And working through adversities, that present themselves during the game and how to react to those in a positive way to be able to get the outcomes we're getting. So we're starting to sell out on that stuff. Our kids are starting to believe in that stuff, and it's been really good for us going down the stretch.
Yeah, I would say it has been. It really feels like your team is picking up what you're putting down. I mean,
Right.
they called it. Tanner Gregory called it last week. He called it a program-defining win for you guys. I think that's a really good way to put it. So my question now is, how do you feel? Practices this week and everything. Do you feel like that confidence is translating into that game against Sand Springs
I
tonight?
think so. The turning point of our season, I think, was a few weeks back, the Ponca City game. We had a real confident Ponca City team coming in here that was a physical football team, and then they were, kind of like us. They were really trying to define themselves as how to compete on Friday nights and who they could and couldn't beat and all that stuff. So we kind of got the ball rolling with them. We got everybody back healthy. That was another good thing too, because
Yeah.
we've been missing several starters,
Uh-huh.
week in and week out coming down the stretch. So we're starting to get those guys back, and just that our talent level is really good right now. Our coaching staff is really good right now. Our kids believe that they can win these games. I think that's the biggest thing, is just having the confidence in yourself and in your teammates, not playing selfishness. I tell our team all the time, selfishness kills success. And when you're playing for each other and you're leaning on each other and like playing the complementary football like we talk about all the time with offense, defense, and special teams, it's a recipe for winning championships, and that's kind of the track we're trying to stay on down the stretch.
Man, okay. So if we get a win tonight, first of all, I love what you said there about selfishness defeats success. That's
Right.
good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hang it. I'm gonna get that on a T-shirt or something. That's
Yeah.
awesome. But so if we win tonight and everybody learns to play like the team that you're telling them to play with the complementary football, so we win tonight, we go right into the quarterfinals. I mean, what do you think our chances are going into the playoff? We are now at a point. I think you and I have talked about this before, where we are like expected to be in the playoffs.
Sure. Yeah.
Pretty much every season now.
Yeah.
And so, but that being the case, I think previously we've always stopped short in like the second round. I think.
I think last year was the first playoff win out of the first round since 2005.
That's right. Yeah, it was the first one
A
in
little
20
unfamiliar
years.
territory for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we made a big deal about that. So, are you feeling like we've got the potential to go even further this time?
Yeah. 6A2 is wide open right now. We talked earlier this morning about, who we may or may not play, in the quarterfinal game. Well,
Right.
the other district right now, everybody's kind of beating everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, you had an upset here, and then this team beats this team. So there's really no way of telling who we're going to play in a couple weeks, just because the season needs to finish, and we need to, find out who finishes in what spot. But, a game like this tonight, it's the state championship level game. We're ranked in the top 5 in a lot of polls. Sand Springs, I think, is number 1 in everybody's poll. So that's a state championship level game. It's a playoff level game. It's for a district title. So I think we're right in the mix with all those teams, whether they're from the over here or from the west side or whatever that may be. So I think we're right there in the mix. Just we're confident right now in playing good football.
Okay, so you're basically, it sounds like what you're saying is if you want to get kind of a sneak peek at what the DE state championship is going to look like tonight, would be a good way to.
It could, yeah, it could be a good measuring stick for that. Us and Sand Springs, the winner of that game will obviously be the number 1 seed on this side, and then the other side, it could be Piedmont, it could be Stillwater, it could be Putnam City, it could be Choctaw. They've all just got to play tonight and see how it works out. But the great thing is we get to play a quarterfinal game, and we get to be at home too. So whoever that west side team is has to travel to us.
They have to come here
next week or in 2 weeks. So, like I said, it's wide open. There's no real team right now that has really set themselves way apart from anybody else. So we're all kind of fighting for positioning right now.
Yeah, and I gotta imagine that's not good for their morale. I mean, they don't have a clear cut, dog winner out there that's just running roughshod over everybody.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's going to be great. They're probably going to be feeling a little shaken, and especially if Sapulpa comes out and wins against Sand Springs. I mean, they're going to be probably even more shaken. They're
right.
going to be
that's what we're going to try to do for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome, guys. Okay, well, make sure to get out there and see tonight's game. I think the weather's going to be fantastic for it. It's going to be a great night for some football. It is a blue out, is what they're calling it. So be sure to wear your Chieftain blue out to the game. Let's absorb all the black and gold over there that we can, and just make them remember the day that Sapulpa came to town. It's going to be a great, great game, guy.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much for coming to be on the show this
Thank you for having me anytime.
It was
sure.
awesome.
Yeah.
And good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Great. So,
see you guys there.
Yep, we'll see you guys there. Kick off at the 7 o'clock. If you are not able to be there, they will be streaming it on both Chieftain TV YouTube channel, and then I found out this morning it'll also be the Cox cable channel, whatever that is. I don't know what it is, but it's the Cox game of the week, I think, right?
Sure. Yep.
So, going to be a lot of coverage on tonight's game, so there'll be multiple ways to check it out if you can't be there. But if you can, I would encourage you go ahead and come out to the game and cheer on the Chieftains, guys. Good luck, boys. We're going to be rooting for you. It's going to be a great time tonight. We'll see you guys tonight at the football game. Thanks for tuning into the Time Loop Live. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you again on Monday, where we talk about all things happening in the town that we love. Have a great Friday. Bye-bye.